William's mother was this massive, iconic figure, the most famous figure of our age. Is that worrying? Is that intimidating? Do you think about that a lot, both of you? You particularly, Kate, obviously.
Well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously, she's an inspirational woman to look up to.
Just when everyone thought they knew what to expect from the state banquet, Kate Middleton drops a surprise that has everyone in the royal circle whispering. Now, this wasn't just another fancy dinner. This was the most formal and important type of royal event, the kind that mixes tradition, diplomacy, and public attention all in one. And while the spotlight was technically supposed to be on the visiting French dignitaries, let's be honest, the moment Kensington Palace confirmed that the Princess of Wales would attend, everything changed. This banquet was set to take place at Windsor Castle, something that hasn't happened since 2014, and was already a major moment on the royal calendar. But with Kate Middleton confirming her attendance, it instantly became even bigger, because it marked her first state banquet appearance since announcing her cancer diagnosis. That alone had royal watchers glued to the coverage. But what no one expected was that before she even walked into the banquet hall, Kate would make a statement, and not through words. Her actions earlier in the day sent a quiet but powerful message that had everyone, from fashion commentators to royal aides, paying close attention. This wasn't just dinner and tiaras, this was royal diplomacy at its finest. President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte Macron arrived in the UK for an official state visit, and the royal family rolled out the red carpet in full force. These visits are incredibly important for maintaining strong relationships between countries, especially when it comes to key allies like France. And in terms of royal responsibility, this kind of event isn't taken lightly. It's formal, traditional, and filled with carefully planned symbolism. What made this one stand out even more? The location. Normally, state banquets take place at Buckingham Palace, but because of ongoing renovation work there, this event was held at Windsor Castle instead, making it the first state banquet at Windsor since 2014. That alone made the evening special. Windsor Castle, with all its history and grandeur, added even more weight to the occasion. The setting? St. George's Hall, a massive and stunning space lined with centuries of royal legacy. Now, these banquets aren't everyday affairs. They're rare. In fact, only a few take place each year, and they're reserved for the most significant diplomatic moments. Every single detail, from the seating plan to the menu, is carefully curated. It's not just about tradition, it's about sending a message to the world, who Britain respects, what values they want to highlight, and which royals they trust to represent the crown. But behind all that polished protocol and fancy invitations, all eyes were actually on one person, Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Her name was trending even before the cameras flashed. Why? Because this was the moment so many had been waiting for. Her return to a major royal event since stepping back from public life earlier this year. After revealing her cancer diagnosis and starting treatment, Catherine understandably paused most of her public duties. In recent months, we've seen very few appearances, and most of them were short and private, so when Kensington Palace confirmed that she would be attending the banquet, it wasn't just an update, it was a statement. This wasn't just another banquet, this was her first tiara moment since her diagnosis, and it meant everything. But before the tiaras came out, she made her first move earlier in the day and left royal watchers speechless. The day started with a ceremonial welcome at RAF Northolt. This is where the Prince and Princess of Wales officially greeted the Macrons as they landed in the UK. It's a tradition, part of the formal process. But this time, it came with a subtle power play. Catherine stepped out in a perfectly tailored Dior outfit. That choice wasn't random. Dior is one of the most iconic French fashion houses, and by wearing it, Catherine was making a quiet, respectful nod to the visiting French president and his wife. In royal circles, fashion isn't just fashion, it's messaging. Royal commentators instantly noticed her decision to wear Dior. It was diplomatic, it was elegant, and it showed once again how she understands the silent language of statecraft. The look was polished, sleek, and classic, just enough to turn heads without overpowering the formality of the moment. And here's the twist. Some royal insiders claim that even Queen Camilla didn't expect Catherine to go that bold with her choice. Apparently, Catherine's decision to spotlight a French designer wasn't widely discussed in advance, and it quickly became one of the most talked about moments of the day. But the biggest shock came hours later, when the tiaras came out.
I sort of learn along the way, but actually during this time I spent lots of time putting out my camera and taking photographs of children because they're always around us and we're doing stuff together, which has been great.
Insiders said the Princess of Wales had quietly shared something significant with her close staff. She reportedly made it clear that this state banquet wasn't a one-off appearance. In fact, she hinted that this was just the beginning, a soft but steady return to public life. The phrase being whispered in royal circles, first of many. Now, she didn't release a formal statement or go on camera, but that's not how Catherine usually operates. Her style has always been subtle, letting her actions speak louder than words. And this quiet announcement completely changed the tone of the night, because until then, most people thought her attendance might be symbolic, a one-time show of strength to reassure the public. But this behind-the-scenes confirmation suddenly reframed everything. It meant we could be seeing more of her in the coming months, gradually stepping back into her role, at her own pace and with carefully chosen appearances. This update also carried a lot of emotional weight. After all the concern about her health, the canceled events, the silence, it was a relief for many to hear that Catherine wants to return to public duty, and more importantly, she feels ready to start doing so. And then, just when the cameras started flashing, she walked into St. George's Hall like a queen reborn. The scene was nothing short of royal spectacle. Windsor Castle's George's Hall, with its soaring ceilings, ancient walls, and long, candlelit banquet tables stretching an incredible 50 meters, looked straight out of a history book. But all eyes were on the Princess of Wales as she entered wearing a full-length formal gown paired with a dazzling tiara. For such high-level events, royal women follow strict dress codes, and Catherine didn't just meet the expectation, she elevated them. Her gown was elegant and structured, falling perfectly in line with the formality of a state banquet. And then there was the tiara, a true royal moment. She chose to wear one of the historic pieces from the royal collection, which she's worn before for similar occasions. The return of the tiara wasn't just stunning, it was symbolic, a sign that she's stepping back into the spotlight, one diamond at a time. To put it in context, the last time we saw her at a state banquet was in November 2023 at Buckingham Palace during the visit of South Korea's president. Before that, she appeared at the 2022 banquet honoring the president of South Africa, where she wore Queen Mary's Lover's Knot tiara, a sentimental favorite often linked to Princess Diana. But what made this appearance different wasn't just the tiara or the venue, it was the timing. It was the fact that after months of uncertainty and concern, she returned to one of the most demanding public royal roles and looked entirely in command. But behind all that sparkle, there was real strength. Because let's not forget what she's overcome in recent months. In fact, just weeks ago, the princess was scheduled to appear at the Royal Ascot, one of the most anticipated and formal events in the royal calendar. She was set to ride in the traditional carriage procession, but she pulled out minutes before the event began. That last-minute cancellation raised eyebrows, and naturally, concern started to spread. It reminded everyone that although she's always graceful in public, she's still going through a private health journey. So for her to go from missing Royal Ascot to standing tall at a state banquet in Windsor, it's a big deal. It shows she's choosing her moments wisely. She's easing back in, yes, but doing so with clear purpose. And she's prioritizing the most significant events, like welcoming a foreign head of state. It also sends a powerful message. She's not stepping back from royal life, she's adjusting. And even while managing treatment and recovery, her dedication to duty hasn't wavered. And as if that wasn't enough, she and William added a personal royal touch that had social media lighting up.
It's not setting it up perfectly, it's not clearing your house away so you've got a perfect studio set up, but it's really capturing those moments that feel real to you and that capture a moment or an expression, or a feeling, I suppose.
As the evening unfolded, there was one quiet but powerful gesture that spoke volumes. An Instagram post from the official account of the Prince and Princess of Wales. The caption was short and simple. A pleasure to welcome President Emmanuel Macron and Mrs. Macron to Windsor today. Just a few words, paired with a photo from the day's events. But in the world of royal messaging, less is often more. This post wasn't just a polite greeting, it was carefully timed and incredibly intentional. Coming directly from their shared platform, it showed that both William and Catherine were fully present personally and professionally. For Catherine especially, this post acted as a public marker, a sign that she was back, not just attending, but engaging on her terms. And it wasn't just optics. This message reflected everything the moment stood for: diplomacy, unity, and resilience. It reminded people that behind all the formality, these are two individuals navigating enormous responsibility under global scrutiny and still showing up with grace. And while King Charles handled the speeches, many say it was Catherine who stole the night without saying a word. Because this wasn't just a banquet, her presence was political, symbolic, and deeply personal. Politically, it showed continuity. The Princess of Wales stepping into such a high-profile diplomatic role reinforced the strength of the monarchy's soft power. The visuals, Catherine in a tiara, engaging with international guests, sent a message the UK wanted the world to see: that the royal family is steady, present, and still central to international relations. Symbolically, it marked a turning point in her recovery. After months of limited appearances and health concerns, this moment was a full-circle return to royal duty at the highest level, and personally, it was a strength statement. Not in a loud, dramatic way, but in the quiet, composed way that has always defined her public role. One appearance, one tiara, one photo, and suddenly the entire royal narrative has shifted. So what's next for Catherine? And what does this mean for the monarchy's future? Did you see this coming? What do you think her appearance really means for the royal family moving forward? Let us know your thoughts down below. We read every comment and love hearing your take on these moments. And if you're enjoying these deep dives into royal events, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with fellow royal watchers, and subscribe for more updates.